Now, has Bitcoin and Ethereum topped yet? Do you think Bitcoin and Ethereum has topped? Stocks and crypto have topped? If not, then do we think this is just a pullback? If you think this is just a pullback, then which cryptos are we buying right now? Because I do know that most people are probably sidelined. Didn't follow Pablo's calls, didn't get in during the crypto altcoin season that I was calling for. Okay, so this is a nasty situation, folks. I won't sugarcoat this for you. Have a look. So basically, when it was here at 121, 48 hours ago in my Discord, I said it doesn't make sense for it to double back like this. Usually it doesn't offer a second chance. We need to keep going, right? I said, this is looking very bad and very suspicious. And then, of course, the PPI news came out. Boom, we went down. And in my yesterday's video, if you watch yesterday's video, right, it basically says if we close below this level, which is 119K, right? If we close below this level, then what it basically means is that we have a bearish engulfing pattern, meaning this green candle is entirely engulfed by this red candle. By the way, we're going to look at a few coins that I'm buying the dip on today or in the next few days. And in fact, there's going to be one new coin that I've never spoken about before. It is tiny. It is only 150K. 150K, right? So a 10x is only 1.7 mil. And 100x is only 17 mil. Very much achievable. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So basically, we have bearish reversal candle. That's what I said. Once we close down here, and it doesn't look good, then it looks like we're going to retest 16K. And after all of this, we're still coming back to retest 16K. I thought we're going to retest 16K here. We did a small retest, and now we did this big fake out, and we come back to retest 16K. And it didn't look right once it hit 121K. I was like, this should not pull back. Here, let me just show you guys again for the folks who are not following me or who are like, don't understand what I'm talking about. When you have a big bull flag like this, like you have a big bull flag here, right? We break out, right? See the all-time high here was 112K. Once you break above 112K here, right, you shouldn't come back and double back. It just goes boom, 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 right? Shouldn't double back until much later, until you've already made the impulse move, then it comes back, right? So here we are. So once we made this move here, then the next move should have been like this. Once we got to 121K, like this was 48 hours ago, I was like, we're going to go down a lot lower. And then people are probably saying, well, yeah, of course, Pablo, of course it's going to go down a lot lower because the bad PPI came out. That's why the market crashed. You couldn't predict that the bad PPI was going to come out. Okay, for people who think like that, let me show you something that will change your opinion. You think this big drop here to here, back to 100, what are we now? 116K, right? Is because of the bad PPI, producer price index, inflation coming out. And so that's why Ethereum has dropped like 10% as well. But I'm telling you, it's not. That's not the reason. That's just an excuse. How do I know? Because the SP 500 did not drop. Are you saying crypto is the only market out there that cares about the PPI inflation data? Does not the SP 500 care about the inflation data? Right? This is the SP 500. So this was the day it came out. It closed the same as the day before. This is today, which is we're now at 3:20 in the afternoon, Friday afternoon, right? US time. It's basically we're like 0.17% down, right? Like NASDAQ, 0.4% down. It's basically the market has barely moved, right? And yesterday it was like the close from the day before to yesterday when the bad news PPI came out, there was almost no difference in the close, right? Right now, basically the market's selling off a little because they think, well, Trump's talking to Putin right now, and who knows what's going to happen. So some people getting a little nervous and sell before the weekend because it's, as I said, 3:20 in the afternoon and markets close soon, but we won't hear news out of Alaska, Anchorage for another 2 or 3, 4 hours. So people don't want to get surprised by that. That's the reason why. So in this kind of environment, if stocks not selling off, then we shouldn't panic. I think this is more just in crypto. It's basically the exchanges trying to run down the longs, the over leverage, high leverage longs in crypto. So therefore, I'm going to be buying some dips. Now, which coins are we buying? Before we answer that question, first they said answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. Trade with Pablo. And so he says exclusive weekly prizes pool up to $25,000. $25,000 futures bonus, right? So that means the exchanges can't see you because you don't need to show any ID. That means the IRS can't see you. The tax office can't see you. FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. Total privacy. That's why Pablo made this deal with them. And now, look, trade with Pablo and chance to win up to $25,000 and bonuses just on depositing, right? Up to $400 of bonuses just from depositing. And look at this. Prizes, there's $2,000, $4,000, $8,000, $15,000, $25,000 just by trading volume. The more you trade, bigger the prize. And okay, so keep in mind, folks, this is for limited time only, and basically finishes on September 11th. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. On YouTube, the link is in the description below. But if you're watching on a different social media platform, that's okay. Just go and click on my profile page, and it should be there on my stand link or link tree, and then it should be the first deal that pops up, right? Because this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. But remember, this deal is only with Pablo, right? On the Pablo link. So basically, since stocks are not down much, are pretty much holding level, then I do think this is a move that's entirely a crypto motivated move where cryptos really need to wipe out the high leverage longs, because I mean look how much Ethereum has ran up, look how much Ethereum has made the run, and look how much some of the altcoins have run up. So that's why the market is behaving like this. So things getting a little bit worse than yesterday. We've gone from like before the PPI came out, it was like 7% probability, 0% probability rates on hold. Then it was 7%, 5% yesterday, and now it's 15% with an 85% chance of a rate cut. So that's still looking pretty good for a rate cut. Now, what coins do we think will take off? Okay, one obvious coin that we probably all noticed was Aero. Aero is basically the largest DEX on base chain. And this is because, as I've been telling folks even before they announced this, 3 weeks before they announced this, Coinbase basically announced that now if you go onto the Coinbase app, before you could only trade the coins that are listed on Coinbase app, but now you can trade all coins that are listed on the base chain on the Coinbase app. So basically like those tiny little coins, those meme coins like Brett, like those tiny $3 million, $5 million, $100,000 coins that are tiny, or even newly launched ones that are like 5 minutes old, can all be traded via Coinbase. And therefore, the largest DEX, Aero, comes into focus, and it becomes a very hot coin. So finally, they announced it a few days ago, and as we can see, the market has been anticipating this, and I called it a few weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks beforehand, to get into Aero. Aero made this move in advance, and then this one upon announcement, and we can see that over the last few days, basically, Aero hasn't moved from this $1.36 area, right? This is what we call beach ball. For folks who don't follow me or who are new to my Discord, a beach ball is basically like something that's full of air. A beach ball, when you push it down at the beach into the water, right, you have to try really hard to keep it underwater. And then when you let your hands go, poof, it pops right up. It's kind of like, what Aero is right now. It's got a lot of potential. a lot of room to run. So basically, people try to, the markets sell pressure, try to keep it down. But once they let go of their hands, Aero is going to pop up. So that's the thing with Aero. So we can see Aero has this this resistance around this. It's sitting right on $1.36 right now. This was marked out on my chart a long time ago, and support is at $0.03. If we get one of those weekends where over the next few days where prices get smashed down, $0.03 would be where to pick it up. It could happen if Bitcoin takes a big dump, or if Ethereum takes a dump towards low 4,000s, like 4,100, for example. Now, next support, a resistance level, probably $1.57. But honestly, I think Aero's looking really good. It's going to make a run for this $2.30 area, which is new all-time high. I do like Aero, but if we can pick it up on a pullback, then that's looking pretty good. So if base chain, right now, you might have noticed a number of coins are running hot on base chain. People are calling it for base season. Why is that? It's because Aero making this move, because Coinbase is letting all the coins on base chain basically have been traded on Coinbase. So for example, what's a coin that is traded on Coinbase now? That would be Predi, prediction markets, gambling, prediction, gaming markets. Predi on Virtues, right? It's an AI agent, but basically it is basically for prediction markets, right? And it's, as we can see, it's a base coin. So like coins like this, which are not big, it's only 8 mil right now. Even after all this, it's 8 mil. It can be now traded on the on Coinbase. Can be now bought on Coinbase app. Imagine that. Now, once again, I'm not sponsored at all by Predi. Not sponsored at all. I can legally say I'm not sponsored, but I've spoken about this coin a number of times. I've spoken about it when it was down here, right? My Discord got in and it took a big dip, and everyone was like, "What happened to Predi, Pablo? At Pablo He-Man, what happened to Predi? What happened to Predi?" Right? Well, what happened to Predi was that Predi went home and then came out with a shotgun and a full pack of condoms and went up like 10x from the bottom, took a dip, and then went up another 3x earlier today. But of course, this big selling on Bitcoin and Ethereum means there's significant profit taken on Predi. But Predi, I continue to like if it dips. All right, if it gets to like this sort of area, 0.006 sort of area, I would consider picking up some more, because it is a base chain coin. We all know base coin is hot right now. And when I first mentioned this Predi coin, basically, I said it's backed by Jesse Pollack, who is the founder of Base Chain, or at least Jesse Pollack, the founder of Base Chain, is good pals with the devs who created this coin, because you can see them chatting and laughing and doing interviews with each other on Twitter all the time. So what's another coin that Pablo has never spoken about before? Okay, just quickly, this is before we get to it, this is Tharwa, or TRWA. It's actually a family, a very wealthy family, they claim, from UAE, from the United Arab Emirates, who basically backed this coin. And since I spoken about it, it's gone up like 4x. I mean, if you even waited after I spoke about it, if you bought the dip, it's gone up 8x from here. But I roughly spoke about it around here, so it's basically 4x, right? From half a mil, it went to 50 mil, it went to 500 mil. 200 mil FDV, right? So 4x. If you watch my video and got in at the same time as roughly I did. Now, the thing about this coin is that I was not able to make a heavy bet on it. I only took a what I would call a normal size bet, because I wasn't sure if the founder of SBET, this gentleman called Saeed Al-Fahim, if he was actually who he claims he is. He says that the Al Fahim family is huge in UAE with lots of assets, and they're going to back those assets. They're going to go put those assets on chain in the real world assets, right? RWA, tokenize it. This family, I looked it up. Al Fahim certainly has the ability to do so, but however, is this Saeed Al Fahim from that family or not? I can't tell, right? It's kind of like someone says, "Oh, my name is Jason Trump, and I'm the fifth son of Donald Trump." I know Donald Trump is a powerful family in the United States, but I don't know if Jason Trump is actually who he claims he is, because I don't speak the language. I don't speak Arabic. I do go to Dubai quite often, sometime every year, but I don't know this family. So I asked my Discord if anyone knows this gentleman, if they can confirm his position. And he has now posted photos with these really important, wealthy gentlemen from the UAE. So he's, I guess, convinced the public, and that's why it is going up, right? Even in times when the market is dumping, this coin is still going up. So obviously, I take it that's a sign that this TRWA is legit. And my lesson is to all the folks in my Discord is basically, I actually asked you guys. I actually said, anyone in the Middle East or UAE area, can you confirm if this gentleman is true or not? And rather than people confirming if this guy is real or not, because I said I didn't know. I was humble. I said I didn't know. I just bought it. I didn't take a super heavy position because I didn't know. But if it was true, I would take a super heavy position. But nobody confirmed it. Everybody thought they were expert on the Middle East and Muslim affairs. They want to argue with Pablo. Like recently, people had a big debate with Pablo on what's going on with the Muslims in China. Like, if you know what's going on, you would have checked out. If you really know what's going on, you would have spent your energy and checked up on this guy and told everybody in our Discord if this was real or not, right? Because this thing might take another 5x run from here, right? And end up doing like a 30, 40x run, and everybody never got in on a heavy position. Everybody wants to argue with Pablo, right? Have a debate about what they know about the Muslim world inside China, but they can't spend 5 minutes of their time, right? Even though if they speak Arabic or Farsi or whatever language, and check out if this guy is real or not. Anyways, I hope that's a lesson for everyone. Now I'm going to talk about a coin that I've never spoken about before, and it's tiny. Now, the coin that I've never spoken about before that I'm getting in right now is this one called Wire, right? It's called, the coin's called Wire, but it's actually called 7178I. Now that's important. First of all, I'm not sponsored by this coin, right? I haven't never spoken to them personally, but I'm going to show you what it is. You know how right now the big narrative is about stable coins, USDT, USDC, especially USDC, which used to be seen as very boring, but then they launched on the New York Stock Exchange, right, on the IPO, and their stock went up like 8 or 9x in 10 days or something. That company is called Circle. That's why it's called USDC, Circle, right? So why does Wall Street like Circle? Because it's Wall Street regulation compliant, and USDT Tether is not. So Circle, for example, why is Circle? Circle is obviously hot. Stablecoins are obviously a hot narrative right now. But here, if we go on Circle, right here, we can. This is the alliance or directory program. All the partners and members of Circle around the world who help Circle with USDC transactions. One of them, if we type it in, if we do a search on Circle's page, is if I type in 717, right, and this thing comes up, it's called 717 Capital, right? And this is 717 Capital, institutional trading firm specializing on and off ramp settlement and liquidity solutions, essentially for crypto settlements, on ramp and off ramp. And here is their link called 717 Capital and their contact. And my friend and I contacted them and asked them if there is a coin called 7I17AI. It's an AI agent on Virtues. And they said, yeah, that is us. We launched this AI agent and we use it ourselves, for OTC settlements, whatever, right? Related to the stable coins. And here's the crazy thing. Look at this. It's only 181K, right? 181K. So in other words, it does a 10x if it just hits 1.8 mil. If it hits 1.8 mil, that's a 10x. If it hits 18 mil, that's a 100x, right? If it hits 3.6 mil, which is pretty small even for a meme coin, let alone a real utility coin, that's 20x. So that's also an AI agent, which is a hot narrative. It's on the base chain, which is a hot narrative, which means, people on Coinbase can buy it. So, not financial advice. Nothing I say here is financial advice. I've taken a position in this coin and I'm not sponsored, but thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next episode.